homework. So make sure you're on a separate page, a page that you can hand in, where I'm going to go over the first couple problems in your homework with you. So this is on page 10 in your textbook. And we'll do homework problem number 1. And so problem number 1, there's a number line. And you could just look at this in your textbook, but you'll want to write down the answer. And the number line looks like this. And they have a closed circle here. And a big, thick line here. Actually, I'll just do a different color. It's a lot more apparent in your textbook, but and it says write the intervals shown on the number line. Use the inequality and use set notation, and using interval notation. So let's do the inequality first. Okay. This is going left to right, so I'm going to assume it's x. Can we do that? Okay. So I'm going to remember for these, I'm going to need my lower boundary. You guys probably don't read cursive, so let me get rid of that. Lower. And the upper boundary. Okay? Lower and upper boundary. So remember that on the x-axis, the lower is all the way to the left, and the upper is the furthest to the right. So what's the lowest value on this number line? Well, I mean the one that, not on the number line, but on the graph itself. Yes. 5. So my lower boundary is 5. My lower boundary is 5. Are we including the 5? Is that a closed circle or open circle? Closed. So remember that when it's a closed circle, that you include it. So you have an equal sign. So all those things when I was saying is a circle closed or open, I'm talking about a closed circle. Is it a full closed circle? If it's an open circle, we don't put the equal sign. You guys remember that? All right, what's the upper boundary? Well, now for the upper boundary, what's the furthest number on the right of the graph? I'm talking about the blue part. Infinity. See, when they draw an arrow like this, they're telling you, hey, this line, this graph goes on forever towards infinity. So we would say infinity. Remember that this sideways 8 means infinity. That just means it goes on and on and on forever. Infinity. Okay? Now, how do I write that in interval notation? Well, I got to do a bracket or a parentheses. What do I do? Bracket. Yes. Can somebody tell me why we do the bracket? Yes. Nope. Yeah, it shows that it's included or that we have this equal sign. So because we have this equal sign, I put the bracket, right? This is the lower boundary on the left. Now on the right boundary, do I have an equal sign? No. So because I don't have an equal sign, I'm going to do parentheses. And then I put the infinity in here. Yes. Because we only have the equal sign on this side. So the bracket always means that we're going to have an equal sign. If we don't have an equal sign, then we do parentheses. That make sense? Okay. That was problem number 1. How'd you guys feel about that? Now, do me a favor, go in the back of the book and look up the answer on problem number 1. Let's make sure that Mr. Adams knows what he's talking about. I did not do set notation. So they'll show a third option with the set notation, and that's okay. These are the two that I want you to do. I don't